A very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch powered by HSBC. I'm Priya Shade, and joining me for this very interesting interview is Darpan Sanghvi from the Good Glamm Group. Thank you very much, Darpan, for talking to us today. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. And I want to begin by telling you that I'm losing count of all the brands that you're adding to your cart. I think every time we speak, there are a couple of new brands that are part of the Good Glamm Group. So tell us a little bit about this acquisition spree and what it means for the Good Glamm Group.
Hey Priya, thanks for having me over. We're always excited to talk to you guys. It's been a very exciting time for us, right? Last 6 months, as you rightly said, we're bringing to life our vision of creating this beauty personal care conglomerate that has brands that addresses different consumer personas and addresses different consumer needs out there. What we realize is brands are very hard to build. Brands take time to build, right? And as a company, you can only have, as a founder, you can only have a DNA, right? I cannot, as a founder, create 4 brands that have 4 very different DNAs. It's just not possible, right? Because brand is all about DNA. And that's where our strategy was, hey, can we go and get brands that have already shown customer love, proof of concept, have scaled up to a certain degree, and then we can put these power engines behind those brands and really make them grow, right? And when we saw the strategy working, we decided to, and we had a first mover advantage, right? We were one of the first guys to do this. And we said, let's go in, let's look at that beauty and personal care segment overall, and look at all the categories in there: hair care, hair color, hygiene, skin care, everything that you can think of, but within beauty and personal care. And let's try to see if we can convince these other awesome founders to join us and build this DTC story together. So it's been fairly exciting. We've got a bunch of brands. Also, of course, we've done a lot of acquisitions in the content and influencer space, because as you know, the Good Glamm Group is all about content to commerce, content creator and commerce. And so when you start putting all of them together, as you rightly said, it starts seeming, wow, there's something happening every 2 weeks at the Good Glamm Group.
Interesting perspective out there. Tell us a little bit about what 2022 looks like. If 2021 was the year of acquisitions, what's 2022 going to be a year of?
I think first and foremost, growing each of these acquisitions 3x. Absolutely, hands down, right? If we got something that was doing 100 crores when we bought it, this year it needs to do 300 crores. That's the basic hypothesis of the Good Glamm Group, right? That we have this amazing content engine that gets us 4.5 billion monthly impressions, get those impressions and put conversations around all the brands that we have. Earlier we just had MyGlamm and PopXO, right? Now PopXO already had conversations around hygiene, around skincare, around hair care. But with the MyGlamm brand is focused on cosmetics, right? With the MyGlamm brand, we could only insert the MyGlamm brand in conversations on PopXO that were around cosmetics. But today we have a portfolio of brands. We have Sirona for hygiene, right? We have Saint Botanica for hair care. We have Momsco for skincare. We have Baby Chakra and Momsco for mom and baby. So we can insert all of these brands into these different conversations. So the first thing is we've got 4.5 billion monthly impressions. Make sure the brands that you have are inserted correctly in a manner that it's value accretive to the consumer and doesn't seem as branded marketing. And with that, expand these brands that we've bought offline, because we have a very large offline presence as well and a large offline team as well. And on the back of that and natural organic growth and some investment in marketing, take the brands 3x. So I think the first thing you'll see this year is the brands that we've acquired go from 1x to 3x. The second thing that you're going to see this year is our big bet in the creator economy. We genuinely believe in at the Good Glamm Group that creators are the next sort of source of truth for this consumer that is exploding in India, right? Consumers are discovering brands, discovering products, and now even transacting based on recommendations by creators. Now, that's where we had bought 4 creator companies: Winkle, Viduli, Miss Malini, and of course Plixo that we had, and they got spun off into the Good Creator Co, which we have seeded, right? And the Good Creator Co is running independently. But I think that's another big bet that we've taken, and we think it's going to explode. I think you'll see our 1.5 million creators go up probably over 5 million, right? And you'll see a lot more creator generated content coming out. So I think that's our second big bet. And the third big bet is going to be some more exciting acquisitions. So grow what we acquired, bet big on creators, and probably some more exciting stuff coming up in the acquisition world.
So Darpan, tell us, and what's your war chest looking like then? Uh, if you could give us a little bit of a glimpse into what kind of investments are you going to be pumping into new businesses, existing businesses in 22?
So I think Priya, what's been great, and I think one of the reasons why we've been able to do what we've been able to do is that I think the markets have clearly recognized the Good Glamm Group having a very differentiated strategy and having this moat of content to commerce.
Mhm.
What that means and results in is that our access to capital, thankfully, is very strong. So, every day, every other day, we have inbound interest from leading investors, and that continues, which is why you saw us literally raise money every 2 months in the last 6 months, right? It started with the Amazon Ascent round in March. Then we had the Axel round in June. Then we had the Naspers Warburg round, which happened in September, October. The term sheet came in September, round closed in October, right? And then, of course, it just continues to happen, right? And continues. We had trifecta in between all of that also invest as equity, not just debt, right? So, and what that results in is that our scale and ambition is not limited by capital. So when you talked about war chest, we have $150 million in the bank, we have over 1,000 crores in the bank, but that doesn't mean that that's all we have. All that means is it gives us the freedom and the flexibility, because that money I raised to grow what I bought, not to buy anything new, right? And so, whether it's debt or more equity, I think capital is easily available. I would say the war chest right now, what we have in the bank is 150 million, which everyone knows. But that's not the war chest. The war chest is really what is the opportunity out there, because the opportunity is right for the group, and there is a lot of synergy there. I think capital is abundantly available for those opportunities.
Darpan, give us a sense of the key metrics that we should watch out for at the Good Glamm Group. Any numbers that you feel will be, targets that you're eyeing or you set for yourself down the line?
So I think, look, numbers across a wide variety of spectrum, right? First is obviously revenues. So, we've consistently said now for the last 6 months that March 22, we should be at $250 million annualized run rate, right? That's number one, right? Uh, Ambition internally is more than that, right? By next year, my challenge to the team is, hey, can we be $1 billion annualized revenue company, right? I mean, and that's not a joke. I mean, that is something meaningful, right? So I think the revenue number is obviously right at the top, but that's ultimately a byproduct of some other numbers. Hey, how many impressions do I have at the top? So my 4.5 billion monthly impressions, can I take that to 5 or 6 billion monthly impressions, right? From there, how much organic traffic am I getting? My current conversion rates, can I increase that? That results to how many new customers. Today, we've crossed 4 lakh new customers a month. That's an insane number. As a brand, I mean, this number is more than what most marketplaces acquire every month as customers, right? Is my repeat rate increasing? Is my repeat AOV holding very, very strong, right? So I think we look at all of these metrics. So starting with content metrics and engagement metrics. The other set of metrics that we're going to add this year are the whole creator metrics as well for us. So we have metrics and KPIs around content, creator, and of course, commerce. Final one headline now is, hey, what's your revenue going to be? 250 million, March 22. Can by December 23, I get to $1 billion annualized revenue run rate? That's what we're going for.
Well, we wish you all the best for that. But tell us a little bit about what kind of offline expansion plans have you put in place, considering that the pandemic is here to stay and we're going to be living with this new normal. So offline plans out there?
So we've always believed in offline. Our fundamental belief has been that in India, if you want to build a big brand, you have to be offline. You can't do it just online. The share of mind that offline commands in our customers is very, very high, significantly higher than the share of revenues offline has for us as a business, right? It's very interesting. If you're seen offline at the neighborhood store, you're a big brand. So offline is very important for us. I think this year you will see us cross over 150 to 200,000 points of sale. Our sales team is expanding aggressively. We're looking at some interesting offline acquisitions as well that will help us grow our offline reach quickly, because offline is one thing, Priya, you can't you can't escape the learning curve. It's not something that you can just go overnight and do something crazy there. It takes time to build. Thankfully for us, we've been doing offline for over 4 years now. From day one of launch, we've been doing offline. So we have the relationship in trade, we have the feet on the ground, we have the credibility now of the last 4 years, and hopefully we can leapfrog it. So offline, can we get to 150 to 200K by December of this year? Is our internal target. Points of sale, 150,000 to 200,000 points of sale.
All right. On that note, Darpan, we wish you all the very best, and we'll be keeping your eye out on the kind of journey that you have going forward. Thank you so much for your time, and it's really been a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much.